Hello, team, and welcome back. The last episode went off the rails in two ways. One is I did not guess Colombia, I guessed the neighboring Ecuador. Not an embarrassing loss, but a loss nonetheless. But it will not go on record as I was not recording. Only figured that out when I tried to stop the recording, the non existent recording. So, have to go back two episodes when we or go back to the last recorded episode where we found ourselves in Singapore. Now, if you look at this was my starting point where the bookmark was dropped. Look at this, and then you say 5, 6, 7 minutes later, you say we're in Singapore. That's really impressive, right? Um, we were gathering clues, including cars driving on the left, prevalence of English language in combination with Chinese, and eventually got to I think there was a URL with SN on the end. So in the end, we got a positive ID, but we were close to Singapore, and this was a very good, very satisfying outing. We have time for two quick ones right now, so let's record one and then one more and see how that goes. No, that's not it. Hang on. I've only been doing this forever. Whoa. Whoa. Alexa, start the timer for 10 minutes. 10 minutes. Start now. What are we on? What is the Google map and the Google camera mounted on? Are we on the moon? Oh, this is going to be good. All right. All right. So, Jesus. Now, if we end up in Mongolia, if this is Mongolia, then I want you guys to be very impressed that my first thought is Mongolia, and I can explain why. But let's move around. I mean, are we going to see anything? Anything anywhere? Let's move. Let's go. Let's go up or down. Let's go down. I think there's something there. Oh, does it even go down? I miss the crickets. I don't have the environmental audio on, and it's boring and repetitive. There are choices between city, indoor, and outdoor. And the outdoor, you get crickets. Can't you get like wind in the trees sound? Or why is the imagination of the people who put this together only went as far as crickets? I mean, sure, crickets are outdoorsy, and I don't literally mean crickets. I just want to say some insects, a chorus of insects, or maybe they are crickets. I don't know. I usually have the outdoor audio on because 60 to 70% of the locations we get dropped off at are very rural like this. I don't know if there would be any crickets here. I don't see why not. Okay, so there's a huge the track ran out. There's a huge herd of animals. Size and shape of cows. I'm not 100% sure that we're on a car. Usually you can get an idea what kind of vehicle you're on. It could, of course, be a car. And this, of course, could be a roof rack and the camera mounted on that. But we're in a pretty unusual and remote location. Let's quickly go the other way because this direction did not pan out. Let's quickly backtrack. So there's a herd. All right. Okay. There's a herd. There was and this is a camp so this looks like a nomadic kind of situation a little bit, right? So there are not that many nomadic people left. Well, what do I know? That's just my guess. But I know that there are people in Mongolia, not all people, there are cities But there are people in Mongolia who lead nomadic lifestyle where they graze their cattle out at a location that has grass. They set up their makeshift dwellings that are easy to put together and transport, and then they move on. So why did I say Mongolia? We've been in Mongolia once already, and as we found out that once we go somewhere, chances are we'll go there again. There is a decayed abandoned car. I don't know if it's abandoned, but it does not drive. It's lacking wheels. And I think the car is Russian. I think it's a Lada. Could conceivably be a Moskvich from the 70s or 80s. And that car would have a place in Mongolia, which neighbors Russia and is heavily, I don't want to say influenced or linked to Russian, I guess, culture and industries, socioeconomic ties. At least historically. Maybe these ties have deteriorated. Currently, I don't know, haven't been to either Russia and Mongolia or Mongolia for a long time, and to Mongolia never. Um, Certainly not the country that's in the news a lot. You guys will agree. I'm not being, I know I'm not trying to be politically incorrect. I'm certainly not trying to be politically correct. I speak my mind. I don't want to offend anyone ever. If anybody gets offended, drop me a line and we can talk about it. I can't promise to change my ways, but I always want to learn. Um, and I'll change my ways if I can, if if I'm being offensive. So if I say Mongolia is not in the news a lot, I don't mean that to be a knock on Mongolia. It's just my it's just what I think, and I have to speak what I think because I have nothing else to talk about when I'm in a place like this. Stream of consciousness all the way. And okay, we haven't run out of the road yet. This is either a fascinating or a terribly boring trip for you guys. I haven't decided what it is for me. I think it's fascinating. We're not going to get anywhere. We're not going to get anywhere with any science. People have no use for science in a place like this. People have use for yurts, those makeshift houses, mobile homes. They have use for cattle and horses and the carts to carry their homestead from place to place. They do not have room for. They don't have use for science, I don't think. And usually, science is 90% of how we make the ID. It's just a matter of finding the sign and interpreting it. There have been times where we found a sign and misinterpreted it. Somebody we were in Chile and or Peru. It was quite a few episodes ago, and we found a sign that said Buenos Aires something or another, and I'm like, yeah, Argentina. In hindsight, it may have said Buenos Dias, but I think it said Buenos Aires. So maybe there was a Buenos Aires choir visiting. Maybe there was somebody visiting, wishing luck to their friends in Buenos Aires. Whatever it was, we were not in Argentina, but we picked up on the one word that, or two words that made sense and made the wrong ID. So it's a matter of finding a sign and interpreting it. We're not going to get in 10 minutes anywhere, and I'll cut this short. I'll say we're in Mongolia, and we'll do one more trip and see how that goes. In fact, we are in Mongolia. So I want you guys to be impressed because the very first thing I said at the beginning of the episode was Mongolia. All right, that was good. We'll take a win. We'll drop a bookmark. Of course, we should have. Let's drop the bookmark where we got dropped off. Let's drop the bookmark right here by this. What do you call that? The camp. Maybe you call this the camp encampment. All right. Let's stop the recording and see you soon. Alexa, stop the timer.